Do you happen to have a Razer keyboard? Were you enjoying that little Wu-Tang's new keyboard feature that basically gives you a little bit of an advantage on Counter-Strike 2? Well, bad news, because Valve has banned it. Let's get into it, a little bit of drama, let's tell you what it's all about. I'm Blaze2K, like, subscribe, click the bell icon. If you want to support everything I do and help me keep making these boring, but hopefully better if we get more members videos, consider clicking join down below. Don't feel like you have to. If you don't want to or can't, that's okay. Click like, subscribe, click the bell icon. But if you do, you'll be supporting better content on the channel. Help me make more of these videos live stream, and you'll get your name in every video on live stream. So let's get into this. So Valve officially bans Razer and Wu-Tang's new keyboard feature. Valve has officially announced the ban of Razer and Wu-Tang's new keyboard features in Counter-Strike 2. Users of these features will be kicked out of the game. Crucially, not banned, that would be bad. So here we go, let's get into it and let's explain what this is all about first of all, right? So we've seen videos about Razer's new keyboard. It allows you to cheat. What is it? What was banned? Let's talk about it. So Snap Tap and Snappy Tappy, SOCD, these features from Razer and Wu-Tang respectively allow basically for automatic key release when a conflicting direction is pressed, simplifying the process of counter-strafing in games like Counter-Strike 2. This means players could basically change direction instantly without the need to manually lift off the previous key, essentially giving them an advantage on Counter-Strike 2. So let's talk about the ban. So why have they banned this? Skill versus automation. So it's more automation in their lives. Valve says they don't want any more automation. They don't want players to have or use any tools like this that basically automates certain things that you had to do manually, especially when Counter-Strike 2 is such a big esports title, right? So Valve's decision underscores their commitment to preserving the skill-based elements of the game. So, if you're playing online, you're playing Counter-Strike 2, and you have a regular keyboard, like myself, it's a Steel series, it doesn't have this feature, but you don't want to be known that you're playing essentially people that have better hardware than you. You want to at least have a level playing field. So counter-strafing is a technique that requires timing and practice, and these features automate part of the process. So something that would take you a long time to learn and get good at, well, these keyboards can basically let you do it a lot easier, right? So it blurs the line between player skill and hardware advantage. Now you could also assume, you'd also say, potentially, you say, oh well, that's kind of unfair because some people have 240 Hz monitors, whereas some other Counter-Strike players are playing on 60 Hz monitors. Fair point, but that is a fair point. Let's get into what else we have to say about this. So fair play, by banning these features, Valve aims to level the playing field, ensuring that gameplay outcomes are determined more by player skill than hardware capabilities. Again, where does this end? If you have a better mouse with a higher tracking frequency, are they going to ban that? Are they going to put us all on 60 Hz players with 60 Hz crappy monitors? 16 by 10 monitors by 16 by 9 monitors, widescreen monitors are going to play, are all the widescreen monitor players are going to be lumped together in online lobbies? Where does it end? It seems like this is a little bit unfair, especially now that they've done this, after the company's released it. But let me know what you think in the comments. So the community's reaction overall, mixed feelings. So some people welcome the ban, believing it returns the game to its roots where mechanical skill is paramount. However, others see these technologies as innovations that should be part of modern gaming, and I kind of agree with those people. I mean, if we're in a competitive setting where we're playing with esports champions, right? Typically, they set up all these players who are competing in, esports with the same equipment either way. So I don't see this being a big issue because in those sorts of settings where it's important, typically everyone has a level playing ground anyway. We're talking about online games though, where, people are playing at home on regular hardware. There's obviously going to be, crappy hardware and good hardware that's going to give you an advantage. Someone could be playing with an old mouse with a ball inside it, the ball tracking. I don't even know what you call that anymore. It's been so long, and someone could be playing with a laser mouse with high tracking frequency, like the best gaming mouse ever. That is clearly a hardware advantage. So why are they not banning that and banning high refresh rate monitors for non-competitive play? Yeah, they're doing it for keyboards now. It just doesn't make sense to me. If you're paying a lot of money for a piece of hardware that gives you a slight advantage, what's the harm in that, What's the harm in that? And obviously, if you are taking it to that level competitively, you're going to want to buy that best hardware anyway, what gives you an advantage, right? Obviously, that's what you do if you want to take things competitively and be competitive and be at the top of your game at any given thing. But by banning it, it does basically maintain competitive integrity of CS2. as how that compares to other hardware, I don't even know. Valve doesn't seem to know. I don't know. So implications for gaming hardware companies. So innovation versus regulation. This ban might set a precedent for how gaming hardware innovations are viewed in competitive environments. Companies like Razer, Wooting might need to reconsider how they design features for gaming keyboards, and market impact. Companies or consumers who bought these keyboards for these specific features might feel a little bit shortchanged. And I would if I just bought a keyboard, spent $300 on a top of the line gaming keyboard that lets me do a couple of things that the pros can do, but just a little bit easier, that doesn't doesn't give me a crazy big advantage, no more than a higher refresh rate monitor would or a better mouse would. What's the harm in that? I just don't see it. So yeah, it might potentially affect future sales. Companies might have to respond to this and potentially offer refunds or updates how to disable the features. I mean, if you're a company, if you're a Razer and you're advertising this feature specifically with Counter-Strike 2 and you sold it on that, you might have to question about, should I refund people? Now they can't use this. But I mean, how, at the end of the day, legally, they probably should have, or I would hope they put a disclaimer saying, Valve may ban this at any time. So I would hope they have done that. If not, then you might want to contact them for a refund if this is why you bought it, right? Obviously, this also brings into question the regulation of hardware. Again, this could lead to more explicit rules about what hardware features are permissible in competitive gaming, possibly influencing the design of gaming peripherals going forward. Software updates. Manufacturers might start including software toggles for competitive modes where such features are disabled by default. I think that's probably the best way going forward. Valve's role in esports, setting standards. Valve's actions have reinforced the role in setting standards for esports. This could encourage other game developers to take similar stances on hardware automation features and player trust. By taking such actions, Valve might be seen as protecting the player base's trust in fairness of the game, which is crucial for the longevity of esports titles and obviously the longevity of their digital, DLC and microtransactions that they have on Counter-Strike 2. Because if people feel disenfranchised and they feel like they're jumping into games, even at home, non-competitively, and they're feeling they're up against all these players and they're getting their butt handed to them every game, and believe me, I feel like that, and I've got pretty good hardware. When I jump into CS2, I get my butt beat every game. And it does feel like everyone's cheating. But if enough people feel like that, they're going to stop playing the game. They're going to stop spending money on the, shop, buying gun skins and everything like that. So I can understand it from that perspective. Like I said, I don't think in a competitive setting, if you're an esports championship league thing, everyone gets typically the same hardware to compete on. So it's a level playing field and it purely goes off your skill. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but I don't know. I kind of feel like this is a bit of an overreach. Let me know what you think in the comments. So from a technical perspective, let's talk about that. Detection and enforcement. So how Valve detects the use of these features might involve sophisticated software to monitor input patterns, raising discussions about privacy and the extent of game software's reach into hardware functionality. Like, what did they design? How much do they know about our inputs here if they're able to detect this? And how, where are the lines set in terms of detecting whether it's a real player doing this and whether it's the hardware doing it, right? Because I could imagine hardware manufacturers like Razer, like Wooting, will find ways to sort of spoof their detection software, right, to make it more human, you would say. So I could see it being a bit of a cat and mouse game depending on how this falls out. But let me know if you're a Counter-Strike 2 player. Like I said, I've played Counter-Strike 2 in a handful of times. I used to be a big Counter-Strike Source guy. I used to love playing the modded servers, zombies, the sort of ones where you ran through a certain course and zombies infected people behind you and you had to run away from them and you had to jump on ledges and try and avoid zombies and stuff. The amount of custom game modes in Counter-Strike Source were amazing. I sort of grew up on that during high school and stuff. It was a favorite time in my life. I've not really got into Counter-Strike 2 with as much excitement because I've had other games. There's other games that I play on a regular basis, like Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, and all those sorts of games now. I maybe need to take a trip back to Counter-Strike 2. Let me know if I'm missing stuff. Let me know if I should go play, and I'll maybe stream it on my stream every day at 3 p.m. Anyways, I'm Blaze2K. If you love gaming news, tech news, all that sort of stuff, consider clicking like, consider clicking subscribe, clicking the bell icon. Who knows? I know I'm just a drop in the ocean in terms of YouTubers talking about games and tech, but I would hope that you'd like me for my personality, okay? And if you do, consider subscribing. And I'll see you hopefully in the next video. All right, take care. I love you. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you in the next one. And consider clicking join and supporting everything that I do. I'd appreciate it. Anyways, peace out. See you in the next one. Goodbye.